If you love Him, give Him a hand clap.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Have you ever just been in a place of confusion? Maybe you're there right now. But you don't know what you're going to do. And you wonder, is there a way out? Is there an escape?
Bless Him, Lord.
And it seems like the load has got so heavy, you just don't think you can make it. Seems that nobody understands and everything's wrecking in your life. And you're looking for any glimmer of hope, any word. You're praying, Lord, just send a word to me to get my attention. And it seems that it don't come.
Bless Him, Lord.
Sometimes that's when you just need to be still and listen. Because sometimes in that point of desperation, there's a still small voice speaking. It's coming from the very deep heart of God. And He's speaking directly to you. I've had times in my life, my personal life, when I was at that place of desperation, when nothing was going to work, then out of the very depths of God's heart, He began to speak to me, and He began to give me direction, and He began to give me hope.
Yes. Bless Him, Lord.
And I realized that I could get up and walk in victory if I would listen to that voice, if I would obey what that voice said.
Bless Him, Lord.
I found out that all of my dilemma would just melt away. God's good like that.
Yes, amen.
Maybe you're going through something like that today. This is Psalms 42.
Bless Him, Lord.
As a deer longs for streams of water, so I long for you, God. You ever been there?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thirst for God, the living God. When can I come and appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night. Well, all day long people say to me, where's your God? I remember this as I pour out my heart. How I walked with Benny, leading the festive procession to the house of God, with joy and thankful shouts. Why am I so depressed? Why is this turmoil within me? Put your hope in God, for I will still praise my Savior and my God.
Yes.
I am deeply depressed. Therefore I remember you from the land of Jordan, from the peaks of Hermon, from Mount Mizar. Deep calls to deep in the roar of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your billows have swept over me. The Lord will send His faithful love by day. His song will be with me in the night. A prayer to the God of my life. So sometimes when you're in those places of desperation, when it seems there's no hope and no help, God's there.
Amen.
He's right there.
Yes.
All we need to do is listen. Tune everything else out and listen to the very voice of God. I want you to use your imagination with me this morning. There's a forest here. And there's a deer. And it's a beautiful deer. And it's walking through this forest. And it's enjoying all the beauty of God's creation. It has no care in the world, really. And it steps into a clearing. And all of a sudden, its senses are alert.
Mm-hmm.
It smells something that shouldn't be there. It catches the scent of man. It catches the scent of a hunter. A hunter that is seeking to destroy it. And for a moment, that deer freezes. But just for a moment. And then it lurches. And about the time it lurches, the arrow flies from the bow and it misses the little deer. And the deer knows that the hunter is going to pursue it. The hunter is relentless. He won't quit. It's just like the devil chasing you.
Amen.
He ain't going to quit. If he's found something that will bring you down, he will use it again. If he's found something that will hinder your walk with God, he will use it again and again. Whatever he can do to slow you down, whatever he can do to hinder your walk with God.
Yes.
And that little deer begins to run for everything that it's worth. It's running, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's hurting. It's trying to escape the hunter and sudden death. Its feet are hot and sore. It's running and it sees a brook and it gets in this brook and it cools its feet and he hopes that he can throw the hunter's track off where the hunter can't follow him anymore. So he runs through the water and then steps out on the other shore, the other side of the creek, the brook. And he hopes that the hunter can't find him, but here comes the hunter. The hunter's not stopping. He's not going to quit. So the chase is on again and the little deer begins to run. His heart is pounding. He's about at the point of exhaustion. So he finds another stream and he gets in it. And then he hears that deep voice of God. That little small voice that comes from the deep heart of God. That little deer hears the voice that says, go out into the deeper water. There's some reeds there in the deep part of the water. Get over in those reeds, little deer. Get yourself down in that water and get completely covered up with that water. Stick your little nose out and breathe. I will protect you, little deer. And the hunter comes by. Sees where the deer went in the water, but don't see the little deer. He goes on and goes on away. The voice of God speaks to the little deer again and he says, time to get up and move over here. There's safety over here. See, if we will listen to the voice of God, when the very deepness of God calls to you, we will be safe. And when the deepness of God calls to you, Rick, He's usually got a job for you.
Yes. Yes.
Usually there's something going to change in your life.
Amen.
When trouble comes in, it comes in to get our attention so we can be listening
Yes.
to that little small voice, that deep voice of God. I want you to think about Isaiah a minute. He lived in a time when the children of Israel had backslid. They had turned their back on God, and God was looking for somebody to go warn them. And here Isaiah is. Oh God, I'm a man of unclean lips. I'm not worthy to even speak your name. I am so unworthy. The Bible says that the angel of the Lord come, took a coal and stuck it to his lips and purified him.
Amen.
Then the deep call of God came. It came through the land. I need somebody to go warn the people. Who will go? Isaiah said, "Here am I.
Amen.
Send me." "Here am I, Lord, I'm willing to go. Here am I, God, I will preach your word. Here am I, God, I will reach out to this lost generation." When he heard the voice of God, his life changed. Now sitting over here among his neighbors, sitting at ease, sitting where everything's okay in his life, is a man. His name's Abram. Everything's good. He's got wealth. But one day he hears the deep calling to the deep. He hears the voice of God in that small voice. He said, "Get up from here, get out from here, and go to a place I will show you."
Amen.
Abraham got up, got his nephew, got his wife, got his possessions, and left. God told him that his seed, his descendants, would be as the sand of the sea and the stars of heaven.
Amen.
He heard that voice of God. He heard it. He heard it. And Moses, talk about Moses a lot up here. Outlaw, runaway, prince of Egypt used to be.
Yeah.
Out in the wilderness of Midian when the voice of God come to him.
Amen.
"Go tell Pharaoh to let my people go." "Not me, God, not me."
Mm-mm.
He didn't want to answer that call.
No.
But he did. He went to Pharaoh and he said, "Let my people go." And he did, after many signs and wonders. Or maybe, let's look at Gideon. The enemy has surrounded them. They have destroyed everything. Every time they plant a crop, it's destroyed. And here Gideon is hiding, trying to thresh wheat. And the angel of the Lord comes and says, "O mighty man of valor." See, when the voice of God speaks to you, it will make you be something you didn't think you could be.
Amen.
He'll make you a big brave warrior when you're shaking in your boots. When the voice of God comes.
Yes. Hallelujah.
The voice of God will change everything about you.
Amen.
How about Amos? Little old insignificant man. But he heard the voice of God. He heard the voice of God when God said, "Tell my people to get prepared."
Yeah.
Prepare to meet your God. Here Amos went, "Okay, God, I'll do that." And you're talking about a world changer. Peter out on the fishing boat trying to catch fish. The voice of God came.
Yes.
"Drop your net. Quit trying to fish. I'll make you fishers of men." A world changer. Not just an area changer, a region, a city, a county, but a world changer. Because the voice of God spoke to him. And he said, "I will, Lord. I will." At first he didn't want to. He was scared. But when he got filled with the Holy Spirit, he said, "I will." On the day of Pentecost, he got covered up with the power and he said, "I will." I remember, Rick, when I heard the voice of God come to me. Been saved a long time. Had turned my back on God and run just as far and hard as you could run. Not a very nice person. But I heard him call me. And I said, Lord, I will. But see, I wanted to put a condition on it.
Right.
I will, Lord, but fill my hands. And you know what? He did fill my hands. Maybe you're here this morning and the voice of God is speaking to you. Maybe He's saying, my children are dying in their sins. I need to take this coal of fire like I did Isaiah, touch your lips and let you preach the word. Let you reach out to this lost and dying world. Maybe He's calling you like Abraham to get out of your comfort zone and to go into a place you didn't think there even was and preach the Word of God. Maybe like Moses, He wants you to go and set His people free. Maybe like Gideon, He wants you to become a warrior. Or maybe like Amos, He wants you to carry this message to the world. Get ready! Get ready! I'm coming back! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready! You can't continually live in your sin. Get ready! Or maybe he's like Peter or Paul. And He's wanting you to be a world changer. Can we hear that deep voice of God out of the very deep heart of God as He's calling to you this morning? He said, I want to change you. I'm wanting to fix whatever is wrong. Can you hear that call this morning? Can you hear that deepness of God speaking to you? It's coming from the very heart of God. He said, you can't be what you was. You can't go back and walk that path you was walking. I have a new path for you.
Amen.
I have a new destiny for you. We can't get to the point that we want to say, it's all right, I'm just going to get by. We need to hear the voice of God. Are you hearing that voice today? Is He calling you to do something? Maybe something you're afraid to do. Maybe something you think you're not qualified to do. Speaking to your heart. Do we have any needs in this church this morning? Anybody here sick this morning needs healing? Anybody that's heartbroken this morning needs deliverance? Anybody that's confused this morning just needs understanding? God's speaking to you this morning. He said, come on. Would you come on home?
Yes.
I want everybody just come on up here.